What makes the US so powerful that it can intervene militarily anywhere without damaging its economy? Somi says, why does the US have so advanced power projection capabilities? China and Russia also have very strong militaries and are neck to neck in multiple military technologies. Is power projection mostly dependent on military bases overseas? So, why is the US so powerful it can intervene militarily anywhere without damaging its economy? Well, it doesn't intervene somewhere where it has economic interests. If it goes and takes over Venezuela, it actually gains something for its economic interests, right? It actually advances America's economic interests. The Americans will not go and bomb a country that works for them. The US has a very large number of vassals across the world. The Americans will never bomb them or damage those economies. So it will intervene wherever there is no damage to its economy. It will intervene in various parts of the world in such a way that it actually enhances American power projection and American control over the world, right? And why is the US so powerful? Because it has almost global power projection capabilities. It can intervene anywhere on the surface of the planet at roughly 60 minutes notice, intervene militarily, because it has so many, more than probably 800 extraterritorial military bases spread across the world. That is why, right? Why does the US have these advanced power projection capabilities? Because some of the nations we talk about are physically occupied by the US military, like Japan, South Korea, Germany, Italy, etc. In the case of Europe, well, Europe was beggared in the aftermath of the Second World War. The Americans helped rebuild their economy, and in exchange for that, Europe was vassalized, and it was acceptable to the Europeans because the Americans were anyway the most powerful military power in the world at the time. The Europeans, they were on their knees after the Second World War, and they just accepted whatever terms they got. That's Europe. Then when it comes to West Asia, the so-called Middle East, well, once again, the Americans have entered into various kinds of arrangements with these nations, where the nations get the benefit of American protection in exchange for giving America their oil. So that's a petrodollar system and so on. So power projection is dependent at the bottom of the hierarchy entirely on military power, but it's also about creating economic interdependence. It's also about creating economic dependence more than interdependence. And it's about vassalizing countries in a variety of ways and so on. It's also about having the best technologies and so on. So it's a multiplicity of factors put together that give the US these global, essentially, power projection capabilities. When it comes to China and Russia, they have strong militaries. Okay, sure. Russia has a strong military, but Russia doesn't have this network of vassals anywhere in the world, apart from Belarus, maybe. Yeah, who else? I suppose Belarus. That's about it. Have I missed somebody? Have I missed something? Belarus. Does Russia have extraterritorial military bases, naval in nature? No. It had Latakia. I'm not sure what the situation with Latakia is. What about China? Does China have this sort of thing? A network of vassals? It has North Korea. Iran is an ally, not a vassal. So China has North Korea. That's about it. And China doesn't have extraterritorial naval bases anywhere or military bases outside its territory, apart from maybe Djibouti or maybe one or two things in Madagascar, which are like not really, vassal-like relationships. So China doesn't have anything like what the US has, and that's why the US is so far ahead of everybody else.